everybody, to another episode of Polite as Fuck. As you guys can see, we have a guest on today for a fun little episode. I'm excited.
Me
Welcome.
Too. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
What's your name?
My name is Lindsey. I am the founder of this game right here called Preferences.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. We're going to play it and talk about it. I'm from San Diego, born and raised here. I was going to say, I do have a hobby. It is crochet. I just learned how to crochet.
I love that.
Right?
That's
I always
so cool.
because we both worked at ClickUp and I always would intro myself and I had nothing to say. And so I would say that I want to get a hobby, and then I started to learn how to crochet. And so that's where my hobby came from. Didn't actually do it for 2 years. And then I finally did it like 2 weeks ago.
I love
So
that.
now I have a hobby and
So
it's
it
crochet.
was like you were lying about it. Now you're not.
I would always say when I got online, I would say, hey guys, my name is Lindsey. I really do want a hobby and I want it to be crochet, but I bought all the supplies and I haven't done it yet. But literally 2 weeks ago, I finally did it. And I made a
Nice.
headband and I made a beanie.
Wow,
And
that's so cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
My sister does a lot of crochet stuff, and I'm always like, can you make me something? And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay.
I know. I think it's a good gift. I think that'll be my gift for the
for everybody
the
for the
holidays.
holidays. Yeah.
The people
Well, I was
that
gonna.
can do like the sweaters.
Yeah.
That's
I want to do
impressive.
that. I want to do a sweater. I want to do a bag. I want to
I
do
saw
all the
like
things.
a bag that's like it just holds wine, like a
Oh.
wine bottle, and I'm
Okay.
like, that is my
Perfect.
I have a couple
crochet.
friends I could give that to for
Yes.
sure. Yeah. yeah.
I did not know that you guys met at ClickUp. I just assume. I guess I should
I
have
didn't
just
really
known.
tell Ellie anything.
No,
I
you
was
did
like,
not.
Oh my gosh, my
Oh.
friend's game just came out. We should have her on the pod. And she was like, okay.
But I didn't want to ask any questions because I
I
wanted
know,
to
it's
wait.
so
Like when
hard.
you
I know,
came
I
in,
know,
I was
I
going to
know.
ask, how did you guys know? Where did you grow up? And I'm like, save it
I
for the
know.
pod.
I know.
So you both worked at ClickUp.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you have a super great, fun experience as well?
So the beginning was really fun and awesome. I started as a customer support rep and was doing that for I think 2 or 3 months. And then I actually, Catherine, you know
Yeah.
Catherine. Okay, so she was the onboarding manager and needed an extra person. Already had another person working under her and then had me join too.
Oh, fun.
And so I moved and started doing that right away and really liked it a lot. And so did that for 2 or 1.5 year, something like that.
So blur.
I left before you left, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Did you quit for this?
Yeah. Kind of. I was like, so the onboarding was going really well, and then it all just started to go downhill. We had some new people join the team, and it just
Wasn't working.
Yeah.
literally. And so at that time, I was like, I had been working on this for maybe 3 months or 4, something like that. And then I was just like not able to focus on this, have the creative juices flowing while I was so sad and unhappy with work every day.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I quit for multiple reasons, because I was really unhappy and because I also had this, and decided to go back to working in restaurants.
Yeah, which is what I'm leaning towards. Yeah.
That's amazing.
We both recently like left our jobs, and I was working with kids, and I have like restaurant experience, but just that same sort of feeling of like, I'm so burnt out. I'm not loving this anymore. This is not fun, and so that's kind of where I'm at right now. So we'll see what happens.
I feel like those are good like fallbacks. Like once you have that skill, once you've done a restaurant job, you know you can fall back to that and like have the energy, hopefully, to fulfill other things in your life.
Yeah.
But how did this come to be if you were working on this at ClickUp?
Yeah. So I think it was April 2021. A friend of like our friend group introduced a homemade version of this game to everyone. We basically were like ripping up pieces of paper and writing our own preferences on it, and then just throwing that into a bowl and then picking them out. And that's how the game was played at that time. And so I played it then. I think I played it one more time after that and didn't really think anything of it other than the fact that it was really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played it with my family the day before Thanksgiving. And we were looking for a game that was like fun, everyone could play, easy. You don't need to like you can kind of go in and out, like it's not super like focused. And this literally just popped into my head, and I was like, oh, let's play preferences. And obviously they didn't know about it, so we made it, and then they were obsessed with it, and we all had so much fun. And then I went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, I think, which was on Thanksgiving, and I was like, you guys, I'm gonna make this into an actual game. And we love games. Like, my cousins and I have always played games growing up, and cards with my grandma a lot, but I never knew, like, I didn't have the intention of making a game. But then they were like so supportive and excited about it, and that's how it kind of came to be.
It inspires me when I see people like in my life or that I know use like the things that they just have like every day and make something creative. I mean, I think that was like the reason behind Erica and I wanting to start this podcast, is like, I love talking. And so I'm like, how can I be creative about it? And so I think that's kind of what it sounds like you did. It's like you had this idea and you're like, just like you were saying before, those creative juices flowing, and then being able to like have it in your mind and then establish it into like real life must feel into something that's like tangible.
Crazy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Is your friend involved in this at all? Or this is all you? Nice. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's been a lot, honestly, but it's been really good. And I've had a lot of support from my friends and family. And I think that's honestly how I've been able to like get by with everything, just because they're super, super supportive.
Yeah. This has been like a long time in the making. It seems like it's 2021.
Yeah.
It's like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. So what the original idea was, when I woke up that morning, I was like, okay, well, I want to do an app. I didn't even think of a card game. I originally thought of doing an app, which might come later. I have no idea. But then I talked to someone at work. I got on a call with him for something else, and I knew that he like developed apps. And so I asked him if he would just develop an app with me or like help me. And I didn't know this, but he was like an avid game player. And he was like, well, maybe do a card game first and then have the app come later.
Okay.
So that's how that happened. I originally, when I woke up that morning, wanted to have it as an app. Yeah.
Do you feel like, are you happy with that choice of like having?
I think an app would have been more difficult to market. I think it's really great to have like a physical product. I think what I heard from people is that apps are like a little bit more difficult to get off the ground. Yeah. Maybe it would have been easier to have someone create it, like code it and stuff, but I don't think it would have been the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like when I think of games, like family games and stuff, it's like a tangible thing that I'm playing. Except for like Heads Up that you play in like line or something.
Yeah.
Or waiting for something.
That's kind of what I originally thought it was going to be like, because you totally could play this in line with an app. So that's like really like where I started going at first, until I spoke to David.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So what has been like the creative process of making this?
So at first, what did I do? I think I went on Amazon and I bought blank cards. That was all I bought, and I just wrote on all of those blank cards just random preferences that like came to my mind. And then I also had people write on them too, so I could get other ideas. And that's where that started. And then I would take that. I took it to work. I took it to like events with friends. I asked people to come play it, and just started to see like what people's interpretations of it were and stuff like that. And it went really well. And then I think people also were continuing to play like that homemade version while I was also working on this. So then I would get feedback from my friends that they played it with another friend group and they really liked it, all while I was trying to like establish it on my own. And then I would talk to people about it. Like originally, when I played with my family and I told them I wanted to make it into a game, my cousin's wife, Allie, she was like, okay, well, I think you should have a notepad that people write their order down so that they don't forget it or that they don't cheat and change it. I was like, okay, great. So then I started incorporating like a notepad. And then I took it to play with my group of friends, like a different group of friends, and like not the ones that already knew how to play. And one guy was like, oh, well, instead of doing a notepad, you should do a whiteboard. I was like, okay. So, you know, I just would get ideas from other people and like talking about it and having people play. And then, of course, like thinking things on my own. But it really does come down to like you're like sharing it with people and seeing how other people interpret it and what they say and different ideas that they have when they play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How did you make it into a game? Like, what is the process in order? Like, do you reach out to people? Because I can see, like, I have all these ideas in my mind of just, like, random things. And obviously, like, the passion is the podcast. But for something like this, like, I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, obviously, I'm sure, like, you Googled things. But, like, what was it in order to take all of these ideas from different people and what they liked and didn't like and to actually, like, make it into a wrapped, tangible card game?
Yeah. I should have brought the first prototype that I had because so I was doing all that with like the cards on Amazon, like a giant whiteboard that I bought from like Amazon that you would use in like class when you're little.
I love that.
Right? It was so funny. And then I had a friend who was doing brand design. And so I reached out to her and I was like, hey, like, can you send me some people that could help me design the packaging, design the brand? Because I had this vision of doing like 90s themed, like really 90s theme was my vision. And so she sent me a couple people just on Instagram. I reached out to them and I basically interviewed, I think, around 5 people and then ended up with the designer I have now, Gina. She's literally amazing. Did this beautiful thing. But originally I did give her the direction to go super 90s. And when she sent back the first like draft, I was like, oh, this isn't what I really had imagined. Like it wasn't matching what I thought it should be. And so we had to go back to the drawing board and be like, sorry, I gave you the wrong direction. Like, I think I need to reassess. And so I made a new Pinterest board that was really more focused on like bright colors, more like bubbly font rather than like the 90s, more like structured, I guess I would say. And then she came up with a couple of new designs that looked a little bit more like this. And then we just worked together. I think I found this font that's on the front. She found the font that is on the sides. And then she came up with the colors. And so it was kind of just a team effort of like figuring out exactly what I wanted for the branding. And then the first box looks completely different than this. It's white.
It's definitely a process, it seems, but I think that's how you get it to like where you want it to be, is you have to be able to like see it. I know for me, it's like I am a very visual person. So as much as I want to be like, I think about this too when I want to like decorate my room or my house. I have this idea, but I'm also like, I just need to see it and try it before I am like okay with it, because I can't imagine it, if that makes sense. So I'm like, I need to see it in real life.
Yeah, I think I still feel that way. Like, I wouldn't always say that I'm like the most creative person in terms of like having a vision and then getting it to how I want it to be. I feel like there's like multiple iterations in between that. And that's actually what happened with this too. Like, I was the one who wanted a white box with preferences in red. And I told her to design that, and then she did, and then it just didn't pop. And that was the first prototype, and it was a big, like more of a square box. Also in the original prototype, I included whiteboard cards. So I had the set of like predetermined cards, and then I also had a set of, I think, 100 whiteboard cards, because I loved the aspect of being able to write your own cards, because that's how I learned how to play it. We like made all of our cards up, but people who are buying the game for the first time wouldn't have that experience, so they wouldn't really be missing that piece if I took it out. And it just, as I was playing it with people, it just didn't really make sense to have people create their own cards along with the predetermined cards. Like, it just didn't flow. And so I took that out and just had the predetermined cards moving forward. And I think maybe down the line it would be fun to have those like as a little separate pack to buy. But you know, it's like things like that you think are gonna work and then it doesn't, and then you have to like take it out or add something in.
Money.
Yes, money.
Because it's like cool that you've had so many like prototypes and you work with a designer and all this stuff, but like even us just like working with my sister who designed our logo for the podcast, Like, I know what the rates are of designers if they just did that, and I gave her, like, I tried to give her as much as I could.
Yeah.
I was like, you're my sister, so hopefully
Discount!
No, for
But,
sure.
like, you said you were going to do a Kickstarter. You didn't do that. Or is this just, like, all your own money you're investing into it?
So yes, pretty much. My parents did help me out a little bit, but this has been my savings that I had. It had been some investment that I made, like money from that. And then I also took money contributions from my Roth IRA out too. So and I sold my car. Forgot about that one.
Dang, girl.
No, so yeah, like that's probably been the most stressful thing out of all of this, because I left ClickUp, which honestly, like looking back, I wouldn't change it because it got me like where I am today. So I wouldn't change anything, but that is a huge stressor. That is not fun to deal with. Serving obviously doesn't equate to what I was making at ClickUp. Serving is also super hard on your body and mind. And I don't think I realized that until I stopped serving. I was like, whoa, like having 2 serving jobs, working doubles, missing family events, missing friends events, like it's not fun. So then I left the serving, and I'm also glad I did that, even though it's been difficult. I found a freelance marketing job that I was telling you about where I'm learning how to do Google and Facebook ads from someone, and so that's helping me learn about business for my own game, which has been really great. But that didn't come until a few months after I quit. So I was kind of drowning there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I took out a couple credit cards. Like I'm totally being just super transparent. This is just like the way that I've done it. And it's been a lot. But
it's what you want. It was your passion. It's what you wanted to do.
And like I didn't know any better. Like it's been a learning experience. I think I had to go through all those things in order to learn them myself. And I think I needed to be so tight on money right now so that down the line I can be smarter with my money. Because I think I would just spend money. Like I that was just, not thinking just spend my money. Like that was kind of how I was living life, which is terrible to think about. That's definitely not how I would want to move forward, and I won't move forward like that. So I think it's all happened for a reason, but most of it was my savings. Once that ran out, I did credit cards. Once those ran out, I went for the Roth IRA, and then my parents did help me a little bit too. So yeah, and my family.
That's good. You have that support. But it also feels like if you didn't like keep working through the different versions, like I haven't played it, so I can't speak to, but you like even just saying the like lessons and things that you took out and changing, like the branding is so like eye pleasing.
Yes,
that's the right word.
Yes.
Like it just like is satisfying to even look at the box. And
that's good
so
to hear.
I'm excited to play too, because it sounds like you had a lot of like focus groups, even if it was like just your friends or family, and were receptive to their feedback.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, and then I was going to talk about the Kickstarter because I was going to do that. And I ended up, so Kickstarter is a lot. Like putting effort into a Kickstarter is unbelievable. Like anyone that completes a successful Kickstarter, like wow. Because I think I would, if I were to do it now, I would know more and be able to do it. But when I was first doing it, I didn't understand like the manufacturing. I didn't understand fulfillment and then distribution and like all those things and shipping. Now I do, so I think it would be easier. But yeah, it just ended up not aligning. It just didn't feel right to do the Kickstarter. And so I'm glad I didn't, just because of where I'm at now. And I don't know, I think maybe it just wouldn't have been right somehow. Like the Kickstarter, maybe it wouldn't have been successful. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with the way that I ended up going about it, even though money, it's tough right now, but it'll hopefully be worth it down the line.
Yeah. And I feel like you planned it in time, because now we're going into the holidays and people are going to want to buy gifts, and it's like the time to play games with your family and that's good that like that timing worked out for things.
Yeah. I also was gonna say too, like, I feel, and maybe this is a generalization, but for people where it comes a little too easy, I don't feel like their heart and soul is in it. And I haven't met a lot of people like that, but what I've like noticed with people, like creative people that are just really going full on and trying something and stepping out of their comfort zone and really like struggling is because they're so passionate. And I think that's where the best creative things come out of it, is like you hear these stories over and over and over again. It's like, I gave up everything in order for this to become something. And that I think is what makes it so personable, so fun, so engaging with other people, is because it's like, okay, I see you as a human and you did all of these things and worked so fucking hard in order for this to be something and has your name written all over it. That's like, to me, that's where I'm like, fuck yes, I want that, you know? And I think a lot of people can like agree with that.
No, for sure. Absolutely. And like, that's kind of been like my model this whole time. Even though it's been super difficult, there's been days where I've cried or I haven't known what to do. It's always felt right. Like, it's never felt like I'm on the wrong path or this isn't what I should be doing or anything like that. It's always felt right. I've always felt grounded in my decisions, and it's always felt like natural for me. My whole life, I always thought that I was going to be doing something like bigger or whatever, however you want to say that. I just always felt like there was something, that I couldn't describe that I was going to do. And I feel like this is it. So I've kind of just gone all in. Selling my car was actually really, really difficult. I loved that car. And it wasn't necessarily like, okay, I'm getting rid of this material thing, sure, whatever. But it was just the principle of like, okay, I'm literally selling my car. Like, this is a big deal. Like, this is crazy. But even through that, like, it still felt right. And then of course, like, my dad had an older car that wasn't in use, that he like would let me drive. So that was great. You know, like, I had the support from my family, which has been incredible. And I'm super appreciative that I've had that support. And like, my parents have always believed in me, and my sisters and my boyfriend too. He's been an insane support through all of this. And so, yeah, like, even though it is very difficult and I am very passionate and I'm putting a lot on the table, it still feels like it's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Which I love. Like, it literally gives me chills. I love that. Like, I love that feeling. And when people say that, and especially during the challenges too, of like, when you're in the shit so deep of just like, what am I doing? Is this the right thing? To still be able to be like, no, this is it and I'm doing it. It's still hard. The challenges are still there. But to have that like grounded feeling must be so nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What other like challenges have you faced while starting this game and creating it, besides obviously money? I feel that. But like, has there been any other like turning points or just specific moments of this creative process where you're like, that was a challenge?
Yeah, there has been. So right as I was preparing for the Kickstarter, I met with someone who was a referral from someone else. And so Preferences, I think it's being played by other people like all over the country. Someone commented on my Facebook post and told me that.
You're like, yes.
Like, I know. It's like, okay, great, thank you. Like, I'm so happy other people are playing it, like a homemade version. And so I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. Like, I wonder where this is coming from. And so there is a vintage game of Preferences from the 80s, I believe. And so I think that game has been iterated on multiple times. There's like a UK, I don't know if this is actually true, I'm just assuming. There's a version from the UK, there's a version in France, I believe. There's another one in the States, but they're all very like low key. So the person that I met with is like really big in the tabletop game industry and had suggested to me that I don't move forward with this. Like, there's already other versions of this game, like, you can't do this, basically. Which I didn't love the way that it was said to me, but I didn't really realize at first. Like, it was just, I was taking this person's advice because of the experience that they have. I don't know anything about the tabletop gaming world. And so I kind of just took his word for what it is, and I stopped working on the game. Like, I literally just stopped. I was like, okay, I need to either like rewrite some of the instructions, and it's actually different. It's not the same game. It's way more simplified than all the other versions out there, I believe. But it's quite typical to have a product and have there be other versions of it, which is what I learned later down the line. So this is not out of the norm to have a product that's very similar. You can also relate it to like Apples to Apples and Cards Against Humanity if you want to do one that's within the same niche. But it's common, you know, to have a competitor. But at first I was like, fuck, like, I can't do this. And so stopped working on it. And for a day I was like really like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But I'm like a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So I just was like, okay, like, this is just what's meant to happen. Like, I'm going to figure out another way to do this. I'll rewrite some of the instructions. I'll think of a different version or whatever. Like, I just need a few weeks to figure it out. And so I took a few weeks to figure it out. And then I was still working at the restaurants that I was working at. One of them is like a purely outside place. And so, yes, there are like little animals that come in and out of this restaurant. And I was going on my break, and I stepped on something, and and I looked down, and it was a little baby mouse. So a normal person would be like, what the fuck, and move on with their life. But my family, like, I grew up super spiritual and like kind of like woo-woo whatever stuff. So I looked up the spiritual meaning of a dead mouse in your life. Because I look up, like, if an animal comes into your life and it's out of the ordinary, like stepping on an animal, it's sometimes good to look up what the spiritual meaning of that is. And so I did. And okay, so this is what it said. It hints at opportunities slipping out of your hands because of your lost focus. It is a sign that you need to be more focused in your life and welcome the opportunities coming your way, as you can lose them in a blink of an eye. If you have been extremely dedicated towards something in your life but have deviated from the targeted path recently, a dead mouse is a sign for you to get back on your way and double your dedication and efforts for achieving your goals.
What?
Oh, if that's not a sign, right? I don't know what is.
That's crazy.
That is so crazy.
So I was like, okay, I guess I should do this.
I just killed a mouse for this. So.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sorry.
That is...
So that was like a huge thing where I didn't know if I didn't know if it was right that I should keep moving forward with this, but at the end of the day, like what I just said, like, there are other products out there all the time, you know, and this is such a special game that I feel like I have a version of it that is appropriate, like, for the masses, and that can really like get out there, and I have like the social presence and all that good stuff. So I'm just really hoping that this is the version that can really make a difference and like shine through. So yeah.
I love that.
That was a good question, because that was a good story.
Yeah, that was
Such
so
a
good.
story. No, I know, it's crazy.
But on the other end of things, do you have like, I mean, a specific, besides the dead mouse, but of like a turning point, or on the other end of it, like the challenges to the positives of something that really stands out that has just been like really exciting, or the greatest moment of this? Like, I know that it's to come, but in this process, is there something that you kind of hold on to of like, I know that this is right, or just brings a smile to your face? No, for
sure. I definitely think it was a week and a half ago when I received all the games, because they're in my parents' garage, and it was just wild to like actually have them there. And I just like sat there by myself for a little bit, and I was like, I did it. Like, they're here. Like, it's so funny. Things just happen. And I just learned how to do this. Like, you can Google anything and you can do it. So it never seemed like so out of the ordinary, like, for the things that I was doing. Everyone's like, well, how do you do that? And I was like, you could do it. Like, you just Google it and YouTube it.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm doing something that's like crazy. But then when I got all of the games in the garage and I was sitting there and I was like, okay, like, it's happening now, I feel like that was probably a huge
moment.
turning point.
Yeah.
Especially because it's been a little bit difficult, like, having a social presence because no one has the game and no one's, like, been playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to take this is, like, a me problem, but it's hard to not take, like, the official product to someone.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be perfect, or I want it to be the thing.
Yeah.
And so it's, like, always been a little bit hard for me to keep up with, like, socials, because I don't always know what to post, or I'm like, no one's going to relate to this because they haven't even played it. And so I feel like there's been a little bit of a lull where I haven't been able to post very much. And so that's also contributing to, like, me realizing that it's here, is because people are now going to be playing it. Like, there's going to be a lot more content that I can post, and people will start to understand, like, what this game is really about. And so that was also settling in for sure.
Yeah. I love that. That's such a moment. I can almost, like, picture myself being there and just, like, a moment that's just going to live there forever. I love that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You say now, like, people will know what the game is. What would be, like, your elevator pitch? If, like, how would you describe preferences?
Yeah. So preferences is a get to know you party game that brings you closer through learning about each other's preferences. On the surface, it is really fun. It's silly. It's hilarious. It's whatever, raunchy. But there's kind of a couple layers to it. I would say the first one is just, like, general connection with people that you don't know, or that you've just met, or that have been in your life forever. But there's also, like, just different, like, things to it. One of them is like, you kind of have to put yourself out there a little bit, because people are, like, talking about you right in front of your face. We'll play it, and we'll demonstrate it. So there's kind of, like, a little bit of vulnerability that needs to be had, and also, like, acceptance of everyone's preferences. Like, everyone has different likes and dislikes, and it's really easy to judge someone for what they like and don't like. So it kind of takes a second for you to, like, not judge someone for liking something better than something else. Just lots of different facets to it. And that's kind of, like, I haven't really touched on that so much on socials, because no one's played it, so they don't really get it. But as people start playing it, I really do want to, like, bring that more to the surface and talk about that.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Should we play?
Let's play.
Let's do it. Okay, I can go first.
Okay.
So basically what you do is you pick 3. Yes! The doggy wants to play. We'll just
That's just like, I want a card.
Yeah. We'll just set out a little thing.
Okay.
But you pick 3 cards. So on each card is, like, a random preference. Could be literally anything. Some of them are inappropriate. Some of them are not. I believe there's 125 inappropriate cards.
Perfect.
Because I just counted them.
I love it.
And then
we
the
all take 3, or you just start and take 3?
So one person goes at a time, and then you read the cards to yourself, and you don't say anything to anyone, so that like, there's no swaying. Like, you guys could start talking and be like, oh, I think she's gonna say this, or oh, I think she's gonna say that, and then it might sway like what I actually write down. So that's the purpose of writing down your order first.
Okay.
So this is, like, the little
So cute.
whiteboard. And then I'm just going to rank them. Ooh. This is hard.
I'm trying not to peek.
I know. I did get one inappropriate one, but it's not too bad.
I mean, we've talked about a lot of things on this podcast. So.
Yeah, good. I hope someone gets a really dirty one then. Okay, so then you shuffle them so they're not, like, in any particular order. And then in the instructions, I say to say in no particular order before you read them to the group, just because it kind of sets the tone. Like, a lot of the time when games are like this, there's a lot of downtime and people are talking. And so when it comes to be your turn, sometimes no one's paying attention. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like an attention getter. It doesn't always need to be said, but I kind of like it. So in no particular order, we have city living, being naked, which is the inappropriate one, because, and it's not super inappropriate, but this game can be played with, like, little kids. So any of them that were, like, could not be for a little kid, I just took it out. And then people. So city living, being naked, people. And then you guys talk to each other. I can't say anything. I can't make any facial expressions. And then you guys talk to each other.
What we think your order
What
is.
you think my order is based off how you know me.
Well, I really only know Lindsey
I know.
in settings. So.
So being naked, number one.
You'll get to know me.
I mean,
I
feel like you grew up in a city. So maybe that's higher than what I would put. What are you thinking?
I think I don't classify San Diego as a city. So I feel like when I think of city living, I think of like crazy living. So I would do people because you seem like a really like people person, and then I would do being naked, and then I would do city living. I think that's what I would do. What do you say? What do you think?
Being naked is so nice. What do we put that at the top?
Okay, let's do it. Let's do being naked and then people. People being naked.
Maybe
now.
I'm projecting, but like when you're not home, I'm just like
full on, nothing on. I love it.
I hope people relate.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So it was people,
Oh.
then being naked. I actually don't love being, I love being naked, but I don't like prefer it that much because it's like a little drafty. Like I want like,
It's a little chilly.
I
want, you know, like a
understand.
little... And then city living because I don't consider San Diego a city. And
you
I
were
just,
spot on then.
yeah,
Yes.
that was good.
Perfect.
So good.
I could, yes. I love it already.
Right?
Round
This
one.
is fun.
Round
Okay.
one.
Can
It's
I
so
go?
Good. Yeah.
Okay. So just pick 3 and then don't show anybody and then I have to write them. Got it.
Yeah.
Did you have anyone else like give you ideas for these, or are these all yours? Okay.
Most of them are mine, but towards the end I needed like a bunch of more inappropriate ones. So I texted my friends and they gave me some
Some good ones.
some good ones. Yeah. And then like of course there'll be more versions to come.
Yeah.
I really want to like reach out to the community and have the community come up with a bunch of
Like ones
good
that they would
ones.
want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I like the pack ideas. Like the Cards
Yeah.
Against Humanity packs are always fun
So good.
to like spice things up.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
a good
there's so
idea.
many like I mean you could do anything because it's just preferences. So
Yeah,
it could literally be anything. Yeah.
And comparing, like, these are so random compared to
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, for sure. It's good.
Okay, in no particular order. We have cookie dough, sweet potatoes, and organization.
Interesting.
Okay, well, I don't know Allie very well. I'm excited I'll get to know you more. Is she an organized person?
I would put that at the top.
Okay.
Probably.
Let's do that.
She is particular about her things.
Does she like cookie dough?
I don't remember. I feel like, does she like cookie dough ice cream? We were just talking about sweet potato casserole and how much we like it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like,
Might be that.
maybe then and then cookie dough?
Sweet potatoes before cookie dough.
I don't know. She doesn't like chocolate.
Oh, okay.
So
I think that's
I
it
feel
then.
like Ellie, how do we do it?
Okay, so I should have kept what I did at first, but I put cookie dough organization sweet potatoes. But the
Whoa.
reason for that is because I saw cookie dough and it made me think of when we were younger at your house and we would make and eat cookie dough like a bazillion times. But I at first organization was at the top because I am a little bit of a particular person. And then I was like, I do like cookie dough. I'm on a sweeter side. So then I put sweet potatoes at the bottom, but I do love all of these things very dearly. So this was difficult for me.
That's funny because I was thinking of us eating cookie dough, but I was like, did I just really enjoy that? And she was just there.
You're just like there by yourself. Like,
No, I fully, yeah.
I really want cookie dough. Do you want cookie dough?
I really want cookie dough, so you really want cookie dough?
but that's what's so fun about it is that like, especially when you play with people that have been in your life for a really long time, like
Yeah.
you get to talk about memories that you have together or just, you know, like things that only you would know about that person.
Yeah, and clearly I didn't know. So it was good. Oh, wow.
Are they spicy?
There's one.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
I wanted to
I love the
Spicy one.
spicy ones. So I shuffled them before I had them like stacked together because I did like an event on Sunday, and I couldn't have any of the inappropriate ones in there. Maybe I should just do that so we can know we'll get one in each time.
I do really like just like the concept of it and how it does seem like how many layers you can go into it, because then you like learn. I mean, obviously it's a game, but I think on a deeper level, like you learn more about yourself, you learn more about other people, and especially in a setting where you may not know a lot of people, it's like such an easy way, because sometimes I'm like, I just ask the basic question, like, what's your favorite color? I'm like, I don't care about that. Like, I want to know, like, do you like being naked? Like, it sounds so silly, but like, I want those things. Like, I love that about it.
That is so good. And I'm glad that you said you get to learn more about yourself, because you do. You're like, wait.
True. You have to actually like pick.
And then sometimes you'll write something down and then another person will say what they think it is, and your head be like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like, I should do.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what happened. I was like, oh, I know that they're going to pick organization, so I'm going to make it hard. So I'm
going to lie. Okay. In no particular order, we have chocolate, grits, BDSM. Good luck, ladies.
Okay. Does she like chocolate?
Yeah, she likes chocolate.
Okay.
I put that up front. Grits? What the fuck are grits? Oh, like oatmeal?
Grits are like, they're like a breakfast.
South.
Yeah, like from the South, like a cornmeal.
Make your eat grits before. Wait, maybe. I don't know.
Does she like BDSM?
Do you know?
Honestly,
I personally don't know, but also, yeah, I feel like that is the order I would do it in.
Like this.
Because BDSM, there's like multiple layers to that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think she's out with a whip.
Right.
But
But she might like it like a little bit more raw.
yeah. Fuck, I'm gonna fuck it up. But chocolate, I know that has to be first.
Okay, then this is probably the order.
Yeah.
Yay! Let's go.
My dad used to make grits for us like every Sunday growing up. So
Really?
Yeah.
That's so crazy that you got that card.
I know, it was like random. But I
It is
didn't really
random.
like love it. It was
Yeah.
just
Like a family thing.
We had grits.
It's corn. Like it's
It's
corn.
like it's like a weird,
something.
it's not oatmeal, but it's like tiny. They're like little tiny, and I think it's corn based.
Yeah.
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 We would put brown sugar in it. Or you can
Ooh,
put
that
butter
actually
in
sounds
it.
good.
I love that. And again, too, like, you just, like, it brings up memories. Like, we get to learn more about, like, it's not just like, okay, yeah, cool, she won. Next, it's like, oh, let's learn about that memory, like the cookie dough thing.
Yeah, wait, in the instructions I have, it says, after the group has locked in their answer, you may finally reveal the whiteboard. Hold for storytelling, laughter, and aha moments. Because you can't, you know, it's like all those things that you have,
Is there like a score? Or you just...
So, there is actually another version that, transparently, I've never played before. I just threw it in there. I was like, you know what? We need this. So, I say that... Here, let me just read it too, because it's kind of funny. So it says, how does it end? It doesn't. You stop playing when you can no longer laugh. And then the backside says, but who's the winner? And it says, not everything is a competition, Monica. This is just for fun. I actually
love that.
never watched Friends, but I know that it's a Friends thingy.
Yes.
So I forget who wrote that. The copywriter I hired to write the instructions. She wrote that.
Oh, that's funny.
Must be a good Friends person.
Right. So then you can play by getting like a piece of paper, and then everyone will just write down what they think it is without communicating with anyone. So like you're gonna pick up the cards, you're gonna read them to the group. At the same time, everyone will write down, including you, the order and what we think it is. And then once you're done, everyone will reveal what they thought, and if they get it right, they get a point.
I love that.
So I've actually never tried it, but I'm assuming it'll work.
No, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Can we do one more?
Yeah, I want to do one more round.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do another round. It is so fun. It's just so simple too. Like it's really not hard at all.
Which I feel like
These are
makes it fun.
so good. These are really good.
Sometimes this is like a meme or something when people explain card games and your eyes just like glaze over and you don't listen. That's me every time. And this I can get.
I was
really
literally
easy.
thinking about that like an hour before we were about to record because I was like, fuck, I really cannot pay attention. I know, like, what about she's talking about the instructions and we start to play and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this game again? I'm like, oh my god, I have to pay attention.
Or like,
This
it's
is
just
so...
the whole podcast is me explaining how to play.
You're like, no, it's like this.
Okay, so we have grilled onions, cheeseburgers, and bad bitches.
Wow, this is tough.
Well, this is hard because I don't
know your food
I
taste
know.
preferences. But you hang out with a lot of bad bitches. At least the people I know.
This is true.
Ellie, do you have any?
I would say it's hard because I don't know if like you're a vegetarian or not. Okay. I would do maybe
In-N-Out. My
me.
head's going to In-N-Out, which is a classic Californian thing, and everyone loves In-N-Out.
Yeah, I would say cheeseburgers first.
Okay.
Just because like bad bitches up front. I mean, I don't know, maybe, and then bad bitches and then grilled onions.
Yeah. If it was pickled onions, maybe that would be higher. Some people are like diehard pickled onions.
I do like grilled onions. Yeah, but this isn't about me, Ellie. It's not about me.
Talking to yourself.
Okay, that's our final answer.
Okay. So it's actually bad bitches first.
Should have known.
Because I love a bad bitch. And I like burgers, but I don't like cheese on my burger. So like super specific. Maybe if it was burgers, I would have put that first.
Gotcha.
And then I don't like grilled onions.
Perfect.
Raw.
Well,
love a raw onion.
What? Are you
raw
like
onion?
like
No,
eat it
no,
like
not
apple?
like that. I just
Okay.
eat it like an apple. Well, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Do you like In-N-Out?
I love In-N-Out. I had that last night.
I haven't had In-N-Out in a long time. I just can't get myself to do it. I can't. I see the line and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
no, thanks.
But you know, like you're waiting in the car.
Yeah.
So,
you get
like, if you
some,
don't go in.
music.
Yeah.
That's true.
So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
If they had In-N-Out up north.
Oh no. I'm nervous. Not loud.
This is funny.
There's like
Okay,
some
this is a
crazy
good one.
ones
This is
in
a
there.
good one. Fuck, this is gonna be.
Oh
Oh
no.
my
You're
god.
wearing your enchanted shirt.
Yeah. First of all, Tangled.
Tangled. Oh my God.
Enchanted.
Okay, yeah, I love Tangled.
It literally says dream. I love
Where did
it.
you get that?
Off Amazon because I was going to Disney World over the summer and I wanted to like dress up, so I had these like purple biker shorts too. It was so
I
cute.
think I need that. Good to know.
Excuse me
That's,
while
like,
I
one of
write
favorite.
my nasty,
Oh
my
God, I
nasties.
don't know.
I'm like trying to think of what. Oh my god, there were some really funny ones. There were some ones that my friend said that I couldn't.
You're
Like I was
like,
like, you
no.
guys, what are you thinking? Like maybe because I want to do like an extra dirty deck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll save those for that one. It'd be
I feel like you need to play like Never Have I Ever. 'Cause some things that people say in that game, I'm like, okay.
right.
That was wild.
You're like, where? What?
Erica better get this.
Oh no, okay.
That's a lot of pressure. Okay, in no particular order. Well, shuffle it around. We've got going out to eat, Google Maps, and big dicks.
I love Google Maps.
Does she use Google Maps or does she use
uses
Apple?
Maps,
Okay.
So I'm gonna say
That's probably at
it's
the bottom.
not her preference. She was talking about the first one a few days ago.
And did she like it?
Yeah. She did.
Okay.
I think
Does
that-
she like going out to eat?
Yeah, that one's tough.
I do. I like going out to eat too. But I mean, who doesn't love a big wiener? So
Yeah.
You guys got it. Big dick going out to eat, Google Maps. Because your girl loves a big dick, but going out to eat, yeah, that was tough. That was a tough one for me. I really had to sit down and focus on my priorities, and that's where they are. I need a big dick before I go out to eat, and we're not using Google Maps, we're using Apple
To get there.
to get to wherever it is we're going.
oh, that's so good.
I love it.
All right, last one. I feel like I'm not being true to myself.
I'm excited.
Oh, wait, I need to read them. In no particular order,
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
it is frosting, Google Android, and celery.
Frosting. Like,
Like cake or like
Yeah.
on a cupcake. Does she like frosting? Does she take her frosting off?
I don't think I've ever seen her take the frosting off. I don't think she's out like eating buckets of frosting, but we do like sweet things. You do like sweet things. And like, you cannot have celery be the top thing. I hope to God that's not your top thing. And if
What
it
if
is,
she,
I
like,
still love you.
loves celery.
Then we might need to
Do you
have a
guys ever get
conversation.
celery? Like, does she buy celery at the store?
I don't think I've ever eaten celery.
What if she secretly wants a Google Android? She's like, fuck iPhones.
Maybe. I would learn so much about you if this was like the complete opposite. If it was celery and then Android
Right?
and then frosting, I would have been like, what?
Mind blown.
I think that's it. I
Okay.
think that's, I'm
Frosting,
going with
celery, Android.
it. Oh, fuck.
Guys.
What? Done. Bye. Peace out.
iPhones are literally the dumbest phones. I only have them because everyone's like, group chats, group chats.
It's true.
I have Android, frosting, celery. I had a Samsung. Wait, is Samsung the same thing?
Sure.
I'm baffled. My world is shattered.
That's why I use Google Maps. It's just better.
I thought
It's
just 'cause
universal.
you're trying
You
to...
can use it anywhere. I can use it on my MacBook. I can use it on a PC. I can use it on my iPhone.
I can use
should've-
it on I could use it on a... I can't believe that. Well, I'm glad frosting wasn't the last, because I would have felt really silly if we really got it wrong. But at least we know you kind of like frosting.
Yeah.
And I'm just... And celery. If celery was the top,
That
I would have... Oh my God. I would have been like, what do? Sit in your room when I'm gone, naked, eating celery? Like a rabbit?
Oh, God.
I used to, my snack after swim practice would be graham crackers with chocolate frosting.
Ooh.
That was before like Nutella was all the rage.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was really good.
Look at
I
us. We're
recommend.
learning so much about you. I love
I
this.
love this game. I want to
Yeah.
keep playing, but I also know we're on.
Yeah, we're on a podcast or something. But this was awesome, and I'm so glad that you were able to share this with us.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
It's so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. It's
Where can
so
people
fun.
find preferences?
www.preferencesgame.com. And then the Instagram is preferences.thegame. And that's like all the social too. Yeah. Preferences.thegame.
You're
Awesome.
on TikTok.
TikTok, Instagram. That's kind of Facebook. I try. I try, but it's not always there.
We just
Yeah.
have ours like auto post from Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's auto post to Facebook.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. Now I have
Yeah.
this content to share.
Yeah,
That's good.
Cross posts.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you came. Thank you. This was
Thank you,
fun.
guys.
Everyone go
Yeah.
get preferences for Christmas or whatever holidays
Yeah.
you celebrate.
Get it now so you can play it for Thanksgiving.
Ooh, yes.
Wow. All right, guys. You know where to find us, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.